Las Cinco Muertes, the 5 deaths.
We've got Muerta,
Isla Matanceros.
You progress on to Isla Tucano.
Isla Peña and Isla Sorna.
One of the things that was important to us was to make sure that we were authentic to the films.
you're going to be approaching these islands and the beautiful iconic shot that you'll recognise from the films as the helicopter comes into this tropical paradise where the whole game takes place.
They're all amazing, they're all iconic, and they're so beautiful, and it's great to be on these islands that you've seen in films and now get to see them in such detail and depth in the game.
Your missions are going to be given to you from these 3 different divisions, which each have a different character assigned to them.
The entertainment division is probably the most familiar to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World fans. You're using the dinosaurs as attractions, so the tourists come in, they marvel at the dinosaurs and spend their dollars, and that's how you're making money.
We'll be having things like arcades and restaurants and clothing shops and all those touristy things to go on top. So this is a business at the end of the day, and you want to try and pull in as many people as possible.
In the science division, you're asked to pursue this authentic dinosaur genome and perform these expeditions and dig sites and extract genomes from fossils to find out more information about these dinosaurs. But
You also need to care about a number of other things with the science division. Your dinosaurs can get diseases, they can get sick, they can die. So what you need to do is research cures for the right diseases, and in order to do that, you're going to need money.
So you need to make sure that the income that your parks are generating and the expenditure you're spending on pursuing this scientific aspect is kept in balance.
Security is probably my favourite out of the 3. It's the one where the player's going to get the opportunity to try and breed the most dangerous dinosaurs they can, and then security's job is to try and control that. So if they escape, you've got all these tools at your disposal to try and put an end to all the calamity and rein it back in. But ultimately, this is all about player choice. It's all about being offered these different styles of gameplay, and it's up to you whether you want to get hands-on and involved and get up there in the helicopter, or whether you'd rather manage all of it from above. It really depends on your style of gameplay and how you want to play the game.
Frontier have taken their years of experience in management games and animal games and brought them together to make Jurassic World Evolution, and on top of that sort of put together a story that helps build upon the story of the franchise so far.
In the game, there are iconic characters from the Jurassic franchise, both old and new. One of them that we're really excited about is Dr. Ian Malcolm, who's in the game, played by Jeff Goldblum.
And he's going to be your voice of conscience, he's your voice of reason, and he's going to be with you throughout the whole game to add a little flavour and sarcasm to your experience.
It was a dream working with Jeff. He's one of my idols since sort of his early film career, and he's such a unassuming man when you meet him. And when we first heard his voice in game, that just made it feel even more Jurassic for us.
It's not just Ian Malcolm that we've got in the game. We've managed to get a couple of the other characters in from the films as well. We've got Henry Wu, we've got Claire Dearing as well, played by Bryce Dallas Howard and BD Wong. And also there's going to be a cast of new characters that we've brought along for our own narrative for this game as well, so hopefully you'll enjoy those too.
It's been really great working with Universal because they bring a lot of expertise and knowledge from the films, and we've been partnering that with our knowledge of video games to really make something as authentic and realistic as possible.
The wonderful thing about this game is that it gives you an opportunity to really visualise what these 100-million-year-old creatures would be like in real life, and I think that's what I love about the dinosaurs in this game, is that it really brings your imagination to life.
As we've seen with the films, actually running a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World is quite a dangerous proposition, so you need to try and succeed where others have failed before you.
The player starts off with a few key buildings on an island which are going to teach you the basic tools of how to build and maintain your park. And from that you're going to earn your first contract, which brings you into your first few decisions about which division you want to side with.
In the game, there are 3 divisions vying for your attention.
For security, it's operations, safety. For science, genetic engineering, animal welfare. And for entertainment, it's all about the guests, it's all about the show and the bottom line.
Once you've built these beautiful enclosures, it's up to you to maintain them as well. You'll be unlocking new things to put into the enclosures. You can upgrade the fences, you can build all sorts of new things inside them.
The game is a management game, but you can also then take direct control of some of the teams in your park and get up close and personal with these dinosaurs yourself.
Taking control of those allow you to directly deal with threats or issues in the park. So the ranger vehicle can be driven to medicate dinosaurs using the dart gun. You can take control of the ACU helicopter, fly over your park, which looks awesome, and tranquilise escaped dinosaurs. Basically, you get to be the hero and save the day, whilst also being the park manager. Who doesn't want that?
Management in Jurassic World Evolution it's the core pillar, making sure your guests are safe, making sure your dinosaurs are looked after, keeping an eye on the finances, doing all the research, doing all the the extraction, and of course this is across five different islands as well.
As you start moving through the game and you start taking control of the park and you start thinking that you've dealt with your dinosaurs and you've dealt with your guests, the islands themselves are going to start throwing storms at you, and they're going to start damaging the park, and they're going to start getting dinosaurs to leave their enclosures, and it's going to cause you all kinds of trouble. So it's really up to the player to make sure they've got the correct things in place to deal with an event like that.
Each of the islands that you manage within the 5 deaths has their own island rating, and that's the key progression sort of metric for progressing through the islands. However, that challenge does increase as you go through it, so it's not as easy to 3-star Muertes as it is Majesty. You also introduced to new challenges, and some of those challenges aren't necessarily within your control as well, so you can experience sabotage from a disgruntled employee, that kind of challenge.
So as the player progresses through the game, as they progress through these islands, they're going to get access to new research, new buildings, bigger and scary dinosaurs, and they can use those on the previous islands that they've been on.
We're a game about choice and player decisions, and the choices you make ultimately will determine the Jurassic World you create.
We're going to offer the players a sandbox mode so that they're able to take control of the Isla Nublar, which you'll recognise from the films. It's a big open space and a blank canvas for them to build whatever park they like.
Cash isn't a restriction, but we do encourage you to play through the career mode as well, as that unlocks the dinosaurs and buildings and all the other aspects that you can then use in the sandbox in Isla Nublar.
A number of players have been asking us, are we going to be doing anything to coincide with the film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? I can say that we are going to be doing a free update with content from the film inside Jurassic World Evolution. We're really excited to see players get their hands on it. The dinosaurs have always been the stars of the show in these films, and we wanted to make sure that our dinosaurs are the best dinosaurs you've ever seen in a video game.
One of the challenges we had right at the start of the project was deciding which dinosaurs we should put in the game. Everyone's got their favourites. Ultimately, I think we've got a pretty good list. In order to create your dinosaurs, you need to bioengineer them. And that means you need to start with the building blocks of life, DNA. And to get those, you need to send out expedition teams to get fossils from dig sites all around the world. Those fossils are then brought back to your islands, where the DNA is extracted from each of them in order to acquire the genome. And once you've got enough of a genome, you can incubate a dinosaur.
So the player's going to be tasked with taking this genome data from dinosaurs found in their fossils, from their dig sites, and engineering it themselves by combining it with modern day DNA of animal species from our animal kingdom. When these dinosaurs first come out the having creation lab, that's the first step for you as a player to be managing these dinosaurs. You need to make sure that they're happy.
The dinosaurs have quite complex natural needs that you'll need to be accommodating throughout the game. So they have their basic ones like hunger and thirst, but they've also got more complex ones like some dinosaurs don't like to be in a pen with lots of other dinosaurs. Other ones, they've got a social need, the herbivores in particular, where they need to be around other dinosaurs of the same type or they're going to get lonely and upset. Big carnivorous dinosaurs, they've got a need to hunt. They want to be killing things all the time. So that's really their motivation.
Diseases can affect your dinosaurs. Diseases can affect their behaviour, it can affect their health. So as the player, it's your job to manage these, to stop them from spreading, for one. So you need to invest in cures, use your ranger teams to medicate the dinosaurs. These creatures are driven by their behaviours. So if they're hungry, they'll eat. If they're thirsty, they'll look for water. If you don't have these things in your park for them to reach, they'll try and find them in their own way.
If you don't accommodate these needs, things are going to start to go wrong. They're going to want to start trying to escape, and eventually they'll start testing your fences. And if you haven't built up the right security, they're going to get out into the wild.
And it's important to note that all dinosaurs are lethal to your guests. Even our smallest one with the velociraptor is still bigger than a human and quite deadly. And even with the herbivores, they're quite weighty animals charging at you.
Well, escape is the quintessential Jurassic Park moment, but it's also one of the more dangerous parts of the gameplay. So once these dinosaurs get out, you're going to have to take control of that situation as quickly as possible, because the first thing they're going to do is start going after the guests.
When one of these dinosaurs does get out of your enclosure, there's going to be a lot going on that you're responsible for fixing, whether it's getting ACU helicopters in to tranquilize the dinosaurs or your ranger teams in to repair the damage caused by your dinosaurs to your facilities, because there's a chance this problem might cascade. So you want to make sure it's under control as soon as possible.
As you progress through the game, you discover new dinosaurs, for example. You can use the new dinosaurs to increase your island rating on your first or previous islands, and then build them up so that you can unlock new goodies as well.
The more the players looking after their park and the more they're looking after their dinosaurs, the more that's going to contribute to your own players' prestige of their island rating and their dinosaur rating, which is ultimately going to contribute towards getting more unlocks, progressing through the game, and also gaining extra reputation with each of the different divisions, which in themselves will have their own special unlocks.
It's amazing to play a game with Jurassic dinosaurs in it. I want the players to feel the joy of playing Jurassic World Evolution.
I'm really excited about players having the chance to play this game for themselves. There are so many different ways to play it, and I can't wait to see what people come up with.